Ah, that was good. Almost done. At least 10% done. Now I'm just sipping in the floor. Done. Whew, that was hot. Now for a little relaxation. Oh man, it's good to be here. Lots of flies or mosquitoes or whatever they are. But they do not seem overly interested in me. Maybe you can see them. I can see a lot of them. So the main structure of the tent is now up. I just have to attach the I don't know what it's called, the extension, the lobby to the tent. That's not too difficult. First I'm gonna get myself a drink of water. Here's the drink of water, much needed. Water can be so very good. I hope the mosquitoes are not blocking the view too much. Let's see. So now I need to, you could just pick this down here, but I find that to be quite frustrating because I keep walking into the guide rope. So I'm going to make a pole here and then do it like this. Here it is. Is it perfect? Almost. So I picked out the sides a little bit. You could also pick these out, but I don't think that's necessary today. But I'm just going to attach the door. The tent with a door. That's beautiful. So, as you might be able to hear, the door velcros to the tent. So the next part is the tricky part, or the part that requires force. I have, however, found that as I've used the bed many times now, it gets easier to attach these poles. These poles are the ones that really keeps the tension in the bed. So the first one is always quite easy. Now for the hard part. This is where you would usually hurt your fingers. I don't want to do that. Maybe it's easy today. Yeah, very easy today. What a luxury to have your car right next to you. Many times when I bring a lot of gear. I have to carry it or use some kind of cart or something to bring it in. That can be quite tough. So today is luxury. The land that we are on belongs to my godfather, so I can just drive down here and use it. It's a bit of mixture of moor, swamp and forest, and then surrounded by fields. Actually, I think yesterday or today the hunt for deer started. So my godfather, he told me that I should be a little bit careful down here. Maybe wear some colored clothes. Maybe wear some colored clothing. Not camouflage. I guess my t-shirt is kind of colorful. I hope I'm lucky. I think I'll just keep the table outside for now, and then maybe later I'll bring it inside. There should be no rain tonight, but let's see. I thought I said the table was quite easy. There we go. Yeah. So it actually did start raining. The weather forecast did not, forecast that. Okay, but I'm gonna try to cook some dinner anyway. Today it's just gonna be very simple. Some sausages, bread, ketchup, mustard, and that's it. Tomorrow it'll be more advanced. Okay. So the fire got too hot, or the grill got too hot.
Hvad det kommer tættere på. Det er der stadigvæk.
Jeg får det tættere på her.
Ja. Så hvis de kommer kørende, så kommer den nok væk. Ellers.
Ja. Alone sausage. Waiting for me to eat it. It's getting chill now. Chilly? It's getting cold. So this is our camp. The building you see next to it is an old cow shed. My godfather used to have cows on this meadow, and now they just use it for storage of tents and wooden chairs and saws and stuff like that. I'm just gonna get a little fire started, cook up some simple breakfast, just some cubed bacon and eggs, maybe a little bit of bread, but I doubt it. I'm going to have to gather a lot of firewood today. There's a lot of firewood over in the shed, but I don't want to use all my godfather's firewood, so I'm gonna go and see if I can find some dry dead wood on the border of the forest. The reason I need a lot of firewood is because I'm going to cook I think it's called a leg of lamb tonight. So it's gonna be cooked quite slowly. I'm thinking probably around 3 hours, but it's just a guess. just let the fire get started. So the fire is going okay now. I'm getting a little bit of smoke in my eyes. I'm going to start by frying the bacon. I'm a little bit strange in the sense that I fry the bacon in butter. It is quite hot. Whoa. Bacon is almost done. They look really, really good. Then some eggs. I think I'll make 3 eggs. The eggs are done. So, almost ready to eat. So, here's the result. So, I'm just going to try this. The eggs are really crisp on the bottom. Bottom. The yolks, a little bit overdone. But it's okay. That's a good start on the day. I need the energy for collecting the firewood. So in this episode we're going to review 3 Mercyful Fate albums. Actually the third will also review the 4th Mercyful Fate album. And I thought it would be fitting to start the first review here at the bonfire that the villagers have collected. Villagers will use this bonfire to burn a witch at midsummer. So just a local tradition here in Denmark. But back to the review. First album is Mercyful Fate Melissa. It's actually their first full-length album, and it's almost 40 years old. It's from 1983. Our first reviewer is Dr. Music. He gives the album 4.5 out of 5 crosses, and he defines the genre as heavy metal, black metal. His favorite song is Evil. He believes it's the second best album by Mercyful Fate, and it's only bested by Don't Break the Oath. He's owned both albums on vinyl, and both albums have seen many plays. He estimates from 127 to 668 listens. Dr. Music says, these 2 albums make you really proud to be a Dane. They've had a significant impact on metal as such. Second reviewer is the infamous freewheeling Fabricius. He liked like Dr. Music, he gives this album 4.5 crosses out of 5, and he's listened to the album more than 20 times. The best track, according to Freewheelin', is Melissa, the title track. He says it's a fantastic album, something very new and special at that time, with the note, except for the preceding EP. Also claims black metal was born. Our third reviewer is the third. He gives this album 5 crosses. His favorite track is Into the Coven. He bought the album on its release and he has heard it several gazillion times. The third states that album-wise, Mercyful Fate started at the top and went downhill, although they never got very far down that hill. According to the third, it's a stunning masterpiece. Every track is a winner. There's economic guitar work and complex yet accessible compositions. And on top of that, we have Mr. Diamond's howling falsetto, where he also provides his own choruses. Last reviewer is Lady Rock. She has listened 1 time to the album and she gives it 3 crosses out of 5 crosses. Her favorite song is Into the Coven, and she mentions that it has sequences of folk sound, great guitar solos that play really well together with the drums. Overall, the album has great energy and variations in rhythm and speed. Lady Rock has some difficulties with Mr. Diamond's high-pitched vocals. Lady Rock met Mr. Denner in his record store and had a good talk about music and got some great pictures of Denner and heavy metal expeditions. There's a little bonus review from the third, and that is a review of the second album by Mercyful Fate, Don't Break the Oath. The album is from 1984. The third gives this album 5 crosses out of 5 crosses. This album he's only heard 1 or 2 gazillion times. It's a fantastic album. The third says, being able within just 1 year to release a follow-up to Melissa that fully measures up to that album is no mean feat. Yes, boys and girls, that was the frequency with which masterpieces were created back in the 80s. The third can say everything he said about Melissa about this album. He just likes the song on Melissa a little bit better. Thank you, the third, for providing this bonus review. Third album up for review is In the Shadows. It's Mercyful Fate's third album. It's from 1993. First reviewer is Dr. Music, as always. He gives this album 3.5 crosses out of 5. He's not listened to it many times, and his favorite track is The Bell Witch. It was their comeback album, released 7 years after their breakup and 10 years after Melissa. According to Dr. Music, it's an okay album, but not brilliant. Freewheelin' Fabricius has never listened to the album, and this time he actually chose not to review it. Third reviewer of the album is, surprisingly, the third. The third gives this album 5 crosses. He has a confession. He probably heard this album more times than he heard Don't Break the Oath. The third says, it shouldn't be possible for a band to quit for so many years and then make a comeback as strong as this album. The production is perfect, the compositions are great, and the guitar work is as good as ever. Especially on the 2 epic tracks, The Bell Witch and The Old Oak, which are his favorite tracks. The lyrics of the album could only be written after King Diamond in his eponymous other band had developed his love of storytelling. Not as original as its predecessors, how could it be? However, the third liked it so much that he can't bring himself to give it anything less than a full score of 5 crosses. Third review is Into the Unknown. It's the 5th album from Mercyful Fate, and it was released in 1996. First reviewer is Dr. Music, who provides this album with a rating of 3 crosses. He heard it 20 to 30 times. Dr. Music states it's an album without the qualities of Mercyful Fate's past accomplishments. Dr. Music claims the album suffers from metal fatigue. Freewheelin' Fabricius gives this album 3.5 crosses out of 5. He's listened to it 5 times. He just states it's a great album. Third reviewer is the third. He gives the album 4.3 crosses out of 5. He's listened to it many times and his favorite track is Into the Unknown. It's a great album, although not quite at the level as the first 3 albums. But it's an album that any heavy metal band should be proud of having in their catalog. The album represents perfect craftsmanship, but it falls just a little short of an original masterpiece. According to the third, this should dissuade no one from diving into it. Great songs, fun and sinister, with the trademark fantastic guitar work from Denner and Sherman. Sadly, this would be the last Mercyful Fate album sporting this incredible duo, as Denner chose to leave the band after this album. I'm hoping this will last 3 hours. However, I'm not quite sure it will. It seems to be pretty hard wood. Maybe it's beech. I'm not entirely sure. Now I need to chop it. So I found this pretty good chopping block just between the trees behind me. That's gonna make it a lot easier. It's really good. Big, standing, semi-solid. So let's get to it. But I'm not sure. Boy, it is hot. It's around 32, 34, 35 degrees in the sun. I just sat a little bit in the shade, drank about a liter of water. I've still got 2 liters left. That'll have to do. Onwards with the chopping. Okay. Okay, I'm getting tired. That's when you make mistakes. So I think I'm not gonna chop anymore right now. Actually, there's not that much more left to chop. Okay, I'm hoping this will be enough. If we say something like this will last an hour, I will have enough for 3 hours. I also have some bigger pieces in the back that weren't fit for splitting. I'm crossing my fingers. Again. So now the leg of lamb is roasting. I don't know if this is a good technique. I will probably have to adjust it during the roast. As mentioned earlier, I think it'll probably require something like 3 hours. But I'm going to make sure that I cook it to a core temperature of around 75 degrees. So the way I hung the leg of lamb is obviously on a tripod, and then I was thinking about just hanging it from butcher's twine, but I thought that might be too weak. So I just attached a chain to the top of the tripod and then made a cut just like maybe 7 or 8 centimeters from the end of the leg of lamb, and put some butcher's twine around that many times, and secured it with several nuts to the last link in the chain. It seems like it's holding up, and I guess it should, because I mean, you use butcher's twine at high temperatures, and this is not a very high temperature, so I think it will work. So I'm starting to think that I will have enough firewood, but I might be fooling myself. My first and maybe futile backup plan is to cut up or chop up the chopping stop. What do you call that? But yeah, it might be too big for the little chopping axe, even though it is quite good. To go along with the leg of lamb, carrots, butter, garlic, asparagus, onion, parmesan, maybe one thing more, but I actually think that's all of it. I'm just gonna put that on a fire, just I think when the leg of lamb is done. This is after 3 hours. It's really starting to look good. I just measured it, or measured the temperature, as we say, like 20 minutes ago. And it was still only around 37 or 40 degrees core temperature, so it needs a little bit more. I'm unsure if it's actually done. It's been next to the fire for like 7 hours, over the fire for 15 minutes. We're gonna take a try. Wow. Okay. Some of this is definitely done. Okay, wow. The thermometer is showing the wrong temperature. Okay, it's actually overdone. Some of this in here might actually be quite good. Okay, this is the right stuff. Can you see it?
Ja. Mums. Vi behøver ikke sådan et år saften kunne løbe ned i, kan jeg se.
There will be some juices. Okay, we leave it there, and then we'll just fry the veggies. The veggies are frying. And this has attended to them. They'll be ready in like 7 hours.
Whoops.
Wow.
Ser lækkert ud.
Det ser faktisk ret lækkert ud. As you would say in German.
Standing vegetables.
Så.
Elegant.
Der er hele, ja. Ser elegant, ja.
Og så her er det. So here it is. Lamb, potato salad, veggies, and right here you have the chili béarnaise. It's quite good. Okay, Ebbe says, so it must be good.
It is, ja.
Very good indeed.
Super, super lækkert.